LiveItLikeLisa here. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. In today's video, as you can see behind me, we are going to decorate this little shelf here with some sort of garland on there to make it look a little bit festive. Now, for the past couple of years, I've just put a very basic Kmart garland on there and just put a few balls and pine cones in it. This year, I thought I would try something a little bit different and try and make it look a little bit fuller and a little bit more extravagant. So I have a box over here that's full of different tree picks and a couple of garlands and that sort of thing. So I'm going to see if I can create something a little bit fancier using all of this budget garland decor. So yeah, come join me and we'll start decorating. So we're going to start by using one of these garlands that I got from Kmart. It's 1.8 meters long and it's just a plain, very plastic looking garland. So this is what I tend to normally use. And then I've got one of these very fake looking garlands that I think I picked up from the reject shop or something like that, that I normally just sort of shove in amongst this one to make it look a bit fuller. So yeah, we're basically going to be doing something like that, but hopefully bringing it a bit more to life. So we're going to start off with this Kmart garland here, and I'm just showing you, I'm putting 3 nails, one on each side and then one in the middle, just to help hold the garland up and away from the TV. I just don't want it all just jammed onto that shelf. I want it sort of to make it look a little bit fuller and to be coming off the shelf in a way. So I'm just wrapping one of those wired branches around that nail to help hold it on. And we're going to flatten out all the rest of the branches on that garland as well, because we're going to use these branches to help hold all the other stuff on that we're going to be adding to this. So this entire garland that I'm making now is all from Kmart. Like all the pieces I picked up were all from Kmart. So here's another garland that I got from Kmart. It's just a leaf garland and I think it was about $5. I've actually got 2 of these. And that's the other one there, and yep, just dropped it. So yeah, we're going to add these. I'm going to add one towards the back of the garland and then one towards the front. So I'm just intertwining it in amongst all of those branches and just pushing it down and just making it look like it's integrated into the whole thing. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other one. This is a slightly different color than the first one that I used, but that's all right. It just all adds to the effect and the look of the whole thing. So I'm just doing the exact same thing, only this time I'm sort of placing it more at the front. And you can see here how I'm just sort of pushing it into that other garland and then just bending those little branches to help hold it in there. So this is also another garland I've just picked up this year from Kmart. This was actually $15 and I'm going to use this to go right on the top, like right in the middle and on the top. And we're going to intertwine this using the other branches exactly the same way as we've done the other ones. And I find it helps to secure each end of the garland first, and then you can just go about tucking in and integrating the other, like the newer one, straight onto the top. So these fern stems were also from Kmart, and I'm just going to pick off some of the branches and intertwine them in amongst the garland as well. So I'm going to use one of them to actually hang down a little bit so that we've got a little bit of a drape going down the garland on each end, and then the rest I'm just going to pull the little stems off and integrate them into the garland. And I try to keep this relatively symmetrical, so usually what I do to one side I like to do to the other, not always 100%, but just to keep it a little bit even, just try and put the same amount on each side, and in the same sort of spots on each side. These Christmas picks are also from Kmart. I think they're about $5 a stem, and they've got a lot of foliage on them as well as a couple of pine cones. So I'm just also picking off each of the little branches and just filling in the gaps now on the garland. So wherever I kind of see that, you know, there's a little gap or something, you know, we just need a bit of something, that's what we're doing at this stage. All right, just to finish it off, and I'm hoping this isn't the straw that's going to break the camel's back or the berry that's going to bring the garland down. I'm going to go in and just add a couple of these berry sprigs in amongst it, because you guys know I love my red, and I need to add a little bit of red to bring in the red from the lanterns, which you can't actually see. And yeah, just to tie it all in together. I mean, it looks beautiful like that, especially if you're going with a neutral decor. Listen to me, it looks beautiful. No, I think it does. I mean, it definitely doesn't look like a cheap, sparse Kmart garland like that it started off with, definitely. I mean, that looks pretty full and nice. So yeah, I'm just going to add a few berry picks now. And with these berry picks, I also just split them off the actual stem itself. So I just took off a few of the little branches so that they're smaller little twigs, and I can just sort of put the smaller picks in amongst where I feel like it needs to go. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. I definitely, honestly, when I started it, I didn't know if it was going to actually turn out. You know, it's one of those projects that I had a vision in my head, and it's pretty much come to the vision that I was hoping it would. But when I started out, I just had no idea that it was going to work. So I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. And last but not least, we're adding some fairy lights. These wire fairy lights were also from Kmart. I think they were roughly about $5. Or yeah, $5. They're battery operated. They're on a wire, so you can bend them and maneuver them in different shapes. And yeah, I actually don't know if they still sell these. I can't say that I've seen them for a little while, but I mean, I'm sure with Christmas they must have something like this available still. So what I do with the lights is I string it out over the whole thing first to make sure that we're going to get an even covering of the lights, and then I push the wire right down into the garland so that you can hardly see the wire. I don't like the wire being visible, so I try to just push it all the way in and, you know, behind any branches and pine cones that I can. Well, there you go, guys. Have a look at that. Now, I mean, that definitely looks a hell of a lot better than what we started with, didn't it? Look how nice and full that looks. And honestly, that is all from the cheap Kmart garlands and Kmart picks and greenery. So yeah, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. Everything on this garland is all from Kmart and all super cheap. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is free. All it'll mean is that you'll just get notified each time I upload a video so you don't miss out. And happy Vlogmas, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.